It all begins in 2023. What am I talking about? That's exactly what you're about to find out today in this video once we reveal what's coming. You were meant to be here and you have a duty in this reality. A company peers into the atmosphere that literally burn up, just like meteors, just like stars, are set to launch operations in our skies in 2023. This company envisions staging shows for big events, artificial skies. They don't admit that they want to do Project Bluebeam, but that is a larger operation to be spoke of. The things you will learn today, you're going to walk away from this and have a reality changing effect in multiple people's lives. But first, who are these people behind these operations that are going to be coming to our world? You're about to find out. I did some deep diving for you. I looked into the CEO of this company, and guess what I found? She is very well connected. She works literally for Goldman Sachs, which is operating with the Rothschilds, its private entities. So again, she's worked for these companies. And then the operation, she says, oh, well, it won't start right away. It'll start 2024, but then she makes another word and slips up, which tells us that it's not going to be ready for certain entities, but it won't be the same for government entities. He came on a show just a few days ago. I'm going to show you.
Those shooting stars, but you've had some challenges in the last few years. Your timeline has actually been delayed. So tell us where you're at right now.
Thank you so much. So our shooting star is now planning to held in 2024. So actually, we plan to have our first commercializing shooting star in 2020. However, one part of our satellite is something wrong, so we can't deliver our shooting star yet. So now we're rebuilding our new satellite, and the next challenge is 2024.
So when will this eventually be available for individuals to purchase?
So individual. So maybe in 2024 we can deliver for the individually. However, after first commercial potential client could be government, tourism government, or tourism industry.
Of course, the government gets the first hand at this technology, so they're going to do the beta test and they don't have to tell us anything about it. So there's going to be trickery in our skies that you're going to see, that I'm going to see, that we're all going to have to analyze this. And the way she tripped over her words, she probably was told not to tell anything more.
The coming year will be the most important in recent times in transforming the U.S. military to counter China's increasingly aggressive military behavior in the Indo-Pacific region. It was revealed Thursday, December 8th, by senior U.S. military commanders.
Japan unveiled a new national security strategy today, along with details of its biggest military buildup since World War II.
There's a reason that everything is about to build up all at once. You'll find that out later in this video, so stick around. But the even huger thing that all the militaries are preparing for is bigger than this. And it's going to be affecting every last military, every last person in this world. And they're now preparing for this scenario in 2023. The military's MQ-9s that operate at Nellis Air Force Base are readying for the hugest event that we've faced in years. This event will be a destructive solar storm, more powerful because the solar cycle is at its maximum. So hot chicken and turkey biscuits, man. The military doing this project called Helios. And it's named after a sun god. And they know what's coming in 2023, so they literally got their prediction tool ready in November before 2023 hit.
My name is Captain Tyson Johnson. I am the Ground System Flight Commander at the NOAA Satellite Operation Facility. On a daily basis, my team and I make sure that the DMSP constellation, which is the only military weather satellite, is functioning and that it's able to get its data to the warfighter in a timely manner. From the flights that are going across the country to knowing whether or not it's going to be a good day to go to the beach. This information is very vital. It really affects everybody. I think we've got a great mindset with the warfighter in mind. I mean, if we can't predict the weather well, those guys that are in the fight, if they get hurt, medevac helicopters aren't going to fly.
The lady who went blind with all these things she predicted. She said the solar storm could be equivalent of 1 billion nuclear bombs. That's what basically we could be doing.
Probably the #1 priority of any space operator is the health and safety of their constellation. So we're not just looking at weather here on Earth. We look at space weather as well. Solar flares, solar winds, anything that's out there that could potentially damage our spacecraft. We've got the stick here. We make sure that the warfighter has weather data. We ensure that the ground system is capable of performing the mission and that the satellite sensors are performing as expected. If not, then we bring together the coalition of mission partners that we need in order to get the weather data back in the fight. The weather prediction that we're able to provide, both for civilian and military applications out of this facility, really is the gold standard for both civilian and military weather prediction. And to be in this position here and now, making the kind of decisions that I'm making that impact an entire 7-satellite constellation is pretty incredible.
So there's a reason why all these things and events are starting to build up very strong right now. There's something that every 80 years happens, and we're 2 years away from that 80 years since World War II. There's a cycle that is either controlled by dark forces or either it has become something of nature that changes like the seasons. But that's what they want you to believe. When crises are controlled and managed, you have all the right to believe that somebody's behind it.
This journey is going to last until about the year 2030, so we're not quite halfway through yet. Well, this is all part of a pattern, and it's a pattern that's gone back centuries in Anglo-American history. I think it frankly characterizes the history of many countries around the world today. Like nature's 4 seasons, the cycles of history follow a natural rhythm or pattern. Over the last 5 centuries, Anglo-American society has entered a new era, a new turning, every 2 decades or so. At the start of each turning, people change how they feel about themselves, the culture, the nation, and the future. Turnings come in cycles of 4. Each cycle spans the length of a long human life, roughly 80 to 100 years, where the unit of time the ancients called the saeculum.
It's come out that the heat wave, artificial sun, or sun dying was the biggest scenario causing supply chain disruptions as well. And what's next for 2023 for our food supply is here.
Food inflation was impossible to ignore in 2022, and for 2023, you can expect more of the same.
What in the entire human, non-human, animal eating? Oh my God. Are you serious? They are bagging up rats now, guys. The food shortage is real. Look at this shit. Are you kidding me? This is a rat. I don't care. It don't have to be a wild rat. This is a New York City rat. Ain't no way. They trying to make it look like it ain't. Who's eating? Yo.
So I know a lot of people ask the question, what happened to our sun? Well, it's slowly weakening, and it's been doing that as early as 2014, where people couldn't get light in Norwegian towns and were putting up artificial suns. But this year, we've seen the biggest pivotal switch. And even the cold weather coming this December is going to symbolize just the cycle of the sun and where it's all going. Millions will be in this situation and scenario. So now it makes sense why all the governments would basically want to work together on the artificial sun. Because if they don't, they all die. And so in that reality, we have to focus on, okay, there's possibilities here. Are they going to leave us 3 days in darkness like the prophecy says? That would allow certain beings to come here, and different beings that can't have sunlight on them. Think about it. But in other forms of ways, you also have the scenario where the artificial sun would be probably put up and projected more. Me and my lady were looking at the sun the other day, and it wasn't like this one. This was seen 2 days ago. It was completely dark red. It didn't have any aura, symbolizing that, am I the only one seeing this, or are you seeing this? Let me know. The next big situation in 2023 that could be coming is the Colorado River. The information you're getting now, you must use it wisely in order to shift your future based on the information that you're going to hear. The dry up phase is set to begin. It says you're not going to have a river. It will be a catastrophe for the entire system. And according to U.S. Bureau of Reclamation with Lake Powell, surface already have fallen 170 feet. The reservoir is even closer to reaching minimum power pool status if the water levels drop another 38 feet in Lake Powell, which is currently a quarter of its original size. The surface could approach tops of 8 underwater openings, allowing the Colorado River water to pass through the Glen Canyon Dam. So they're saying openings are going to open up and could make the water circle out. Sounds strange. They say that would force turbines which supply 4.5 million people with electricity to shut down, likely triggering financial struggles for people across southwestern states. The standard rate for low-cost power generated by Glen Canyon Dam is 30 per megawatt hour. But with the dam already producing 40% less the power it originally did, customers this past summer faced prices $1,000 per megawatt hour as they sought electricity on the open market. The latest of when this situation could happen, the Bureau of Reclamation show that the minimum power pool status could be reached as early as next July, and Arizona's Water Resources told. This would cause power shutdown in a lot of scenarios. 2023, the WHO has gotten the legally binding agreement, close to that one world government response. In this scenario, under the WHO Constitution, this will open up the new phase and chapter of our lives. And they step their foot just one more layer over the barriers that we've always been talking about. So in 2023, they have literally moved and shifted, and so shall the minds of people, and so shall the minds of the conscious awareness. And with that in place, we'll see a collision in the world, in the sky, in the heavens, and below that we've never seen before.
Yeah. I see angels flying over the sky. Small. Angels flying over the sky. You can't see angels small. Angels that fly over the sky,
The light does exist, but we must not be fooled. And everything here is hidden. So if you found us today, you should find out by looking here what else you literally missed that's critically been hidden. That's even the bigger picture, tiny.